Okay, we're back in session. The next item on the agenda is for the board members to elect the chairman, vice chairman, and treasurer of the board. And I would like to nominate Dave Crewy to reassume his position as chairman of this board.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Yes. And say so.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, all those in favor of Dave Crewy for chairman of the PWSD board of directors, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Director Crewy abstained, or now Chairman Crewy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got the gavel. You want to take over?
Okay, I would like to make the nomination of vice chair for Ed Harsty. He's been assuming the chair position, and I can't tell you how many hours this man has put in. He is a former sheriff, but he's also a private investigator. He was for many years. And I can't tell you the amount of hours that he has spent trying to find out all the problems and how we can fix them. And he's done a miraculous job. The things we have found are just unbelievable. We can't describe anything because there is legal implications right now. But he has done a wonderful job, and I would like to take this opportunity to nominate him for vice chair. Second. We have a second. Do we have a second? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Ed is our vice chair. I would also like to take the opportunity to elect Jesse Duckett, a longstanding member of Timberon community, as treasurer for the Timberon Water and Sanitation Department. I think he'll do a great job. So we need we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it.
Yes.
Okay. Old business.
Did you abstain or did you vote?
I abstained on that for myself. Bring my gun, sir. Is there any old business that needs to be brought forward and talked about?
Chairman, there is old business.
Okay.
We had a complaint filed with PRC against the district, and I guess it's been going on for quite a while. And it was with Dwayne Deagle, and he wanted to discuss a settlement with us, and General Manager Hamilton and I did a phone call with him, and my take on it was he was being very reasonable. He was being very civil and cordial to us, and he wanted to settle for $2,800. And I went back and looked at some of the invoices. We have, in 1 month alone, we spent over $5,000 fighting him on that. And I recommend that we just settle with him and be done with it for $2,800. What's the lawsuit about? It wasn't a lawsuit, it was just a complaint. It had something to do with bill for a meter that wasn't his, and then his meter was taken. And I don't know all the details on it, but it sounded like it was just something that somebody dug their heels in because his name was Beagle and was not going to, deal with him. And to me, it's absurd to continue to spend tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees to fight him on it. It might prevail in the end, but at what cost? And that was the Rhodey law firm that was charging us all that. They have since washed their hands of us. They don't represent us anymore. That was their decision, so we would have to seek new counsel if we wanted to continue to fight him on it. And in my opinion, it's not worth it. You still have other lawsuits? Not that I know of.
I mean, we can take these lawsuits to court, spend tens of thousands of dollars on them, or do we do a reasonable settlement? I think this was due to the fact that he was trying to sell a piece of property that had some back meter fees that were incorrect. Somebody had, like I said, dug their heels in and said, no, you're gonna have to pay them or else. And, we've got to count the upside and downside. The upside was just get this thing done and be done with it instead of spend 10 or 15 or 20 or $25,000 in legal fees. And that's what's been going on for a long time.
There was two other lawsuits that we had against us. We settled, or we still have those.
Well, we're only working on the one right now.
We're just working on the one. One was settled that I know of. That one was settled, and it was another complaint with PRC, and we prevailed, but there again, at what cost? So, and they don't represent us anymore, so. If there is another complaint or lawsuit, I don't know anything about it.
Yes, sir. Did you have a question?
I just have a recommendation. I do not disagree with you at all about the settlement, but I'm wondering if you can negotiate into that an agreement with Mr. Beagle that he will stop
Harassing us.
Every time you get rid of one lawsuit, and he files another.
Yeah.
We've already.
Just a thought.
Yeah, and that's something I'll need to ask this local attorney that we hired. He's working on the petition district call, but I did talk to him. The last time I talked to him, he said, moving forward, if we have these issues that come up, would your law firm be willing to? And he said, yeah, absolutely. So, and if it's something they're not comfortable dealing with, they will help us find suitable local counsel that can. But
this goes on and on. We had somebody stealing water here in town. And basically, we could have charged them the $500 fine and called the sheriff and documented it. But no, we took it to the law firm. It cost us $5,000. What good did that do? None. I mean, none. It's just spending money we don't have. And director's remark. I guess I need to say this to director's remarks, but make a motion. Well, let's move on to director's remarks. We don't need. We have to put that on the agenda for Friday for emergency. We need to move this vote to emergency meeting on Friday.
Saturday.
Saturday at 10 a.m. Does that work for everybody?
yes.
Okay, 10 a.m. Saturday. We can also, while we're talking about motions that need to be added, a little bit of out of sequence, but we need to put on the agenda to purchase new computers for the office in its entirety.
Thank you.
The computers are corrupt. We have spyware on the computers. We've got all kinds of horrible stuff going on. They can't do their job, and everything's antiquated. We also have found an IT that moved to Kairos that is a water production IT specialist. He knows how to do SCADA. He knows how to set up our computers. And I would like to also make a motion that we allow money to have Kyle Scher come in and help us get our new system up and running and get us out of all this malicious stuff that we've had going on. But that would be a motion for the emergency meeting Saturday at 10 a.m. Okay.
Excuse me,
She had a question.
Timberon Development Council has their meeting at 10 a.m. Saturday.
We'll move it up to 9.
9's fine with me.
9?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with 9.
I'm not. You can make it.
So you want
Yeah.
I did what?
So you want the purchase of the computers and the IT on the agenda?
Yes, we need to put money in for IT and computers. We can take care of it.
All right, I just got a couple things for director's remarks. Yes.
I thought it was on the agenda. Now I have a copy for me for comments from the audience.
Yeah.
Before
Yes.
director's remarks are-
Okay, yeah, we'll do before if you want.
I just had something I'd like to say.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Is that all right?
But yes, go ahead.
I waited my turn and I heard your comments from the audience about the appointment of the board. I don't necessarily disagree with some of those comments, and I don't necessarily agree with those comments. Here's the fact, and I've been wanting to say this and trying to figure out how to say this for over a year. The fact of the matter is, is this is not this past election is not the first election that we didn't have very many people run for board. Matter of fact, I think since I've been here, I doubt I can remember more than the seats that many people running. If you want to complain, get involved. That's what I'm asking you to do. Get involved and run for the board. If you have the skills, get involved and run for the board. Once you get on the board, you have to follow the same rules that these guys have to follow, right? You can't change it because you don't like it, you don't think it's fair. It's the law. And they are, in my opinion, following the law now. So if you want to change this system, then get involved, put your name on the ballot for next year's November election. That's all I wanted to say.
If nothing else, we're gonna move on to director's remarks.
Is this questions right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna ask this, but since we are addressing rumors, there is a rumor that I've been hearing for a while now. And I've just been ignoring it. But I just wanted to make it public record to either deny or confirm that we know that Alamogordo just pulled out $45 million to secure water rights. You don't have any intentions to sell our water rights to Alamogordo, do you?
On my part, absolutely not.
I heard that, but
No,
no.
I don't think either.
Our life is,
Get our own.
our water is our lifeblood of this community.
Exactly.
Without our water, we don't exist. I can't even imagine a world where we have to haul water. So that's what we're fighting for. We want to have a dependable water distribution center, distribution process for the entire town. So no, absolutely not.
Thank you.
If there's no more questions, we'll move on to director's report. Yes, sir.
Have we been redoing our water rights properly?
That's a good question, and I don't have the answer, but we probably need to look into that. So we will look into that. I want to make you a pledge as the other board members were continually on the hunt to raise water rates in this town. That was the basis of their existence. We were scheduled for another water increase next year. And where does this end at? I mean, our water rates are already extremely high as far as I'm concerned. So my pledge is that on my part, not speaking for the other board members, I am not going to entertain any water increases moving forward until we get completely through what we're going through right now, and that would be in the distant future. It wouldn't be in the immediate future. We need to learn how to live in our budget, how to sustain ourselves, and how to maintain a cash position that we can work with.
I'll join Chairman Curry in making that same pledge.
They had already keyed up to start the lawyer process to start for water increases for next year. And these cost us, this last water increase cost us $300,000 in lawyers' fees. We can't do that. Instead of having a water increase, why don't we just get a reduced water rate to our consumers? Or why don't we keep it the same?
No.
Oh, Lord, no. We found bills, or Ed's found bills that date back to last year that's never been paid.
I will address that, Mike, when I make my comments.
But anyway, that's my pledge. I want to see us move forward. I want us to see us solvent, and I want to see us be able to grow and repair our infrastructure in our water district. That's what I would like to see personally.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have one question. So I've seen the budget out there for GWSC for the year and how it's spread out over the quarters. I'm assuming y'all update that with actuals. Is that something y'all can share with the community?
You're talking about true ups?
Yeah.
On the budget?
What you
That has not been done.
budget year to date?
We were informed last year by other board members that we had a stellar audit last year, that everything was peachy. Well,
seen it.
when we got calling the audit
Can I answer
firm,
that question for you,
yes, sir.
Alright, as the chair for the Finance Budget Committee, ah, we currently do not have a budget. Nothing has been sent to the state that's been approved by the budget. And we are working to correct that and working to get a preliminary live budget. That's what they do on an everyday basis. So until then, we don't. I got one young lady that put her name on the email list for the Budget Finance Committee. So there's other people that are interested in that committee. See my wife, she'll take your email. And the next meeting we have, we will work through some of those issues.
To answer the question, they've been working on bogus numbers, bogus budgets that didn't have any relevancy in the day-to-day world. And that became very apparent when we find out that bills haven't been paid, our electricity is going to be shut off, our dumpsters are no longer going to have trash hauled off, on and on. We could go on and on. But nothing was being taken care of financially the way it should have been. Moving forward, that is Jesse and the Finance Committee. That is their job to put us back on the right course. We were told we had a stellar audit last year. We called the auditors, or I didn't personally, somebody called the auditors, and they said it was disastrous. They've never seen a mess like they sent in. But yet, two people that sat up here said it was stellar. Our audit was wonderful. But knowing that it was, in fact, not, they made numerous recommendations that were never brought to the rest of the board to correct the situation, never corrected. So moving forward, we have to change the way we're doing business. We can't continue to work this way. And we've got the right people, we've got the experienced people to get this done. It's just putting our shoulder to the grindstone and making progress.
Okay. As far as the budget goes, or the audit, the firm we use is Beasley Mitchell Auditors. I've been in contact with one of the partners of that firm, and we're trying to get this started. There's a lot of talk about there's a December 15th deadline. We have to have the budget in by, or the audit done by then. We missed the start date that they had penciled us in for because we're waiting on, they have to send us a packet of information that they need us to send to them before they can get started. So they now have us penciled in for a start date of November 4th for our audit. But they need that package completed by October 19th. I'm still waiting on that package to come in. They're working on it. If we miss that date, the next one is December 16th start date, which is the day after it's supposed to be done. And then we'll need that package by November. But we're already going to miss the December 15th date. If we got started today, we can still miss it. But she said, don't worry about it because it's happened in the past. They will write a letter, they'll sign it, we sign it, we send it off to the state, and the state will say, okay, you're good. We'll just give it to us when we can. The bottom line is, it should be in there by March, because if it's not, that screws up the states with their budget process. They want all this stuff in there by March. I'm confident we'll get it done. We touched on the computers being compromised. I will tell you that there's an ongoing criminal investigation being conducted by Alamogordo Police Department and the District Attorney's Office. What happened was there was a company in Alamogordo, I think it's Alamo Technology Solutions or something like that. It was a bogus company. Nobody did their due diligence, and they hired this company to come up here and install hardware in all the computers, which turned out to be malware. That's why our computers are so screwed up. But we're working on it. Can't really discuss an ongoing investigation, but as I can, as we find out things, I will let you know. The local attorney that we hired, his name is Matt Wade. He works for Truett Law. last meeting, we approved his retainer, that's been paid, he's working on it, I talked to him yesterday morning, he's working on it, he is going to submit it to 12th District Court with an appeal that it goes through accelerated, because we're a public utility. And so I'm confident we're gonna make some progress there really quick. Brody Law Firm has been paid now approximately 1/4 of what we owe them. So I talked to the attorney Samantha Holtz, and I think she's backed off a little bit. They sent us a demand letter last week. They weren't paid in full by last Friday. I think she's backed off a little bit. I explained their situation to her. It doesn't change the fact that we owe them a lot of money, but I gave my word that we could get them paid in full as quickly as we can, but you can't squeeze blood out of the stone. So we'll see. There's some talk about special elections. I've been talking to Robin Holmes' staff down in the county clerk's office. First of all, to have a special election, you're looking at between $15,000 and $20,000. Just the voting machine and the absentee ballots are about $15,000 or $10,000. But then you still have to hire election monitors, referees, judges, whatnot, and all the other associated costs. So there's that. They say you cannot hold a special election within 100 days, or a minimum 100 days past the general election, which would be in November. And so we couldn't hold a special election until sometime in March or April next year.
That's before the.
No, that's after the election. You have to wait at least 100 days after the general to have a special.
She told me before.
Okay, but here's the kicker. Special elections are for ballot measures. You cannot have candidates running on a special election. So you can't do it. So it's a moot point. There can't be no special election to fill board seats. That's what they were calling for. But I just wanted to bring you up to speed on that. So people still want a special election. So that's all I got.
Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing else? You need a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
I'll say.
Oh, I'd like to thank Deputy Jones back there for being here with us.
Thank you. Who seconded?
I second. And don't forget, we have a special meeting scheduled for 9 o'clock on Saturday morning to discuss some important business we need to take care of immediately to get us new computers that aren't corrupted. Our manager's computer is virtually unusable right now. Every time she uses it, it flips out and goes somewhere else. Loses all her information. You told her. You want to add on possibly software? Yes, we did with IT. We're going to put in money for an IT.
Yeah, if I gotta do all this stuff.
Oh, yeah, all those in favor of this one? Aye. Motion carries.